Welcome to a brand new episode of Lunch with Doug, a unique and fun experience brought to you by the creative minds at the Music Exerbia Project. We're here today thanks to the generous support of our esteemed sponsors. John's Barbershop, located at 121 West Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Open Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Walk-in only, no appointment needed. American Legion Post number 2, located at 402 East Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Newly remodeled with a clean, fresh look, gaming machines, and new smoke heaters. Open to the public.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. I know it's been a minute. It is summertime, so, we're on the summer schedule. But we're going to be making you at least one show a week through the summer here on Lunch with Doug. Probably 2 shows a week, but just depending on what's going on. There has been some exciting transitions in the world of With Doug. And as you saw the title, With Doug TV. What is With Doug TV? Well, it's a 24/7. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is a live broadcast. However, that's a stream now. Live being pre-recorded things playing in rotation like a regular TV channel would. That's it. We're going to get you in a greater picture of our world. My world, I guess. I'm bringing you into my world. You're already in my world, but now we're going to expand that, and we're going to make that world more your world. So there's exciting things, because you can do a lot with Doug. You can have lunch with Doug, like we're doing today on this audio podcast, which, believe me, folks, the big question is, Doug, are you getting rid of your audio podcast? And I'm saying no, absolutely not. I'm an old school radio guy. I love audio, radio style shows. There will not be any, this is not going away, folks. It's only getting better. We're just distributing it in a different way, a different programming over there model. And in fact, we'll probably be incorporating, I'm not going to make promises right now, but there's a lot of great stuff happening. And the audio podcast is going with that. We have, however, now the Nooncast over there, which I was going to call the new Lunch with Doug, Nooncast. And I'm kind of, I think that's what the title says right now, but we're probably going to change that up. It's just, Nooncast with Doug, I think is where that's going to end up actually being, but we were experimenting with, interviews with Doug or interview with Doug, and there's going to be some interview with Doug. I don't know, but I think that Nooncast with Doug's probably going to be where that title is. However, we are literally 15 days into it. If you're listening to this show on time, there's been 15 days of this TV channel with Doug, the With Doug TV channel. And what is on that channel that we can't talk about here? We have been getting interviews with people that are on here, and that's really exciting. And so we wanted to step that up. We wanted for the folks, because one of the big things is people are always, they see me at Walmart and they're like, Doug, why can't we see video with your show? And I'm like, well, it's a podcast, it's a radio style show, so I'm not really into doing that. We did that in season 1. We did what now is on the television channel. We are calling it classic Lunch with Doug episodes. So you're going to see those TV episodes that we made that first season, and they're kind of fun to go back and watch. A lot of the content is, some of it's still relevant, but most of it's a little timed out. But some of the characters in there, there's very few of the ads that are still, relevant, but it's fun to see some of the creative work that was happening. So it's interesting all the same. So those are in there. We're playing those, every once in a while, kind of rotating through a couple different episodes. They're popping up. But a lot of people missed all of that. There's people that, like you, may be listening today, and this may be the very first time you've even experienced Lunch with Doug, because, we're meeting new people. I'm meeting new people all the time. So, if this is your first time, welcome for sure. And so you can experience that. And then there was the movie, the Lunch with Doug movie, which was episode 261. There was 261 video episodes of Lunch with Doug, what I'm now calling the classic TV episodes. They were television style videos that aired on the internet. And there's some of them that are lost episodes. I don't know if we'll ever find those episodes. So there's a lot of lost stuff. I thought the internet was forever, and it is not forever. So there's that. As goes for archiving stuff. There's places where you thought it would just hang around, and then the storage costs got up, and a lot has changed in the last 2 decades. I'm still literally like coming out that chute, 20 years ago. I'm still in the same place. 20 years later, I'm 30 years into everything, but there's been, the internet's really been around, basically 25 of those. And then the first 5 years of the internet what was the internet in the first 5 years? Of course, I was using it, but, maybe it wasn't doing what it's doing today. I'm rattling on, folks. I'm not going to keep you here because I want you to be able to get over and check out the Nooncast over at, withdougtv.com. That's where it's at. Withdougtv.com. Get over there, check it out. This thing is a 24 stream cast right now that is falling through one of the other many things that I do. I do so much stuff. I know my audience, you guys get overwhelmed with all the products and things that I'm putting out. And hopefully this television thing will help sum that all up and make a lot more sense of what I'm doing out there and all the different brands and things I'm doing. So hopefully that's what this is really about. It's to bring that world together in a cohesive way and to be able to distribute the different things, because we do need video product. I get it. People are asking for it. I get it. There's bands that have music videos. There needs to be a place to put those. So now we have that. I have some video content of me. And for the listeners who want to listen to the audio of the TV station, I think that I think it's going to be a good experience the same way, because you can check in. The biggest thing is you can check in 24/7. So instead of sitting around, like what happens in between podcasts? Sometimes things happen and there's a little gap, like we're in summertime now, and the scheduling routine is not the same as we would be hitting come September. There's probably going to be 3, 4, maybe 5 shows, audio podcasts a week, last September. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of engagement. And then it gets to the summertime, and it's not that there's not a lot going on. It's just it takes a different thing. So what happens in between the podcasts? And that is the 24/7 feed with Doug TV. So you can check in. We can get things there in a different way, and constantly, I guess, is the thing. There is a constant thing. It's on your schedule. You're not waiting around for me. You want to check in, you want to see something, and there's going to be some things. Now, sure, it's a rotation. Sure, there's going to be a lot of repetitive stuff, but also you can't just on demand. That's the advantage to the Lunch with Doug podcast. It is on demand. You can click for it, and you can get it on demand, after that initial air. Okay, so that's cool. However, again, once you've listened to them all, there's nothing else. There's no repeats. And I don't know. It's a different format. I like it a lot. Again, we got to have both. There really is a place for both things. And I do have other podcasts and all that. I don't want to go into that today. We've talked about that. If you're a regular listener, you kind of know what's going on, but some of those are not. Again, same thing. There's gaps in between. There's these times, and then it's just like, what's going on? That's the life of a podcaster. Podcasts are a little more random. Even though this podcast is pretty, regular, it's still surprising. You might have been sitting there today and you'd been like, I'm not sure if there's going to be a podcast today or not. Nothing's been said on the Facebook page. And then ding, here you get a ting. And if you're a subscriber, and here you are. Okay. And then the other weird thing, not so weird, but the YouTube, we do the audio podcast goes to YouTube. So you can go to YouTube and you listen to it. It's got a stock picture with our logo on it. It's available, but however, it's also very random. So I don't know when it's even going to update. So it drops on Spotify, it drops on iTunes, it drops on Amazon. That all happens pretty instantaneously when we drop our podcast. But then the YouTube is like when? Sometimes it's like 3 weeks later, and then the episode, I'm like, where's that episode? And I'm not going and checking because I've got an automated way of doing that. However, the YouTube automation thing is very uncertain. So again, if you go into the YouTube page, you kind of get lost in the mix. So hopefully, and I think the people that are watching on YouTube that are going there, they're not really looking for audio only content on YouTube. They're looking for videos. However, again, the stream is not on YouTube all the time. And if it is limited time. It only happens when it happens and then it drops out. So sometimes we will be streaming to YouTube. It's just something special that comes on the TV show channel. And we want to widen it out. So you'll be able to see it on Facebook. You'll be able to see it on YouTube simultaneously, also on the regular page as well. That's just an enhancement just to, hey, this is a little bigger of a thing. So we want to get this out more. However, once that stream's gone, that doesn't stick around. It maybe there's an option for that on YouTube, but I know Facebook, it hangs around for like a little while and then it deletes. So that's a new Facebook Live thing. Live videos do not hang around. They are not archived. They're temporary and then they're gone, which really is how it should be. And then I can archive it if I think it's something that needs to be. But again, it's going to be restreaming at another time and stuff. You get into the channel, you can find out, what's going on. And as we get better at things, and I say me because, here I am, a producer, a host. I do a number of things. So I'm still learning what the good time spots are for things, and we found that Thursday night we'll do our little movie on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. We do it again on Sunday at 9 p.m. And then the weekend scheduling is really random. So then everything else on the weekend is just like whatever. It's just, you don't know what's going to happen except for those special points. We'll have some sort of church service on Sunday. I was toying with 10 a.m., but yesterday I believe we ran it at 11 a.m. It's usually about an hour. Not sure exactly what church is going to be involved in that and stuff, and probably varied content. So from week to week, it'll be just that time slot, some inspirational during that time slot, and at this point, going to be very, very random, but should be cool as we move into things. Usually 7 a.m., 7 p.m., pretty much every day, 7A, 7P, is videos with Doug. And they're not just all my videos. They are, I'll have like one of my videos. It'll either be me playing live or it'll be something that I've made a video. And then it'll go to someone else's video. And we're going to play some of the bands that people I've toured with, people I know. But this is an expanded thing. One of the things, the biggest thing, I guess, that you need to know about what is With Doug TV. And With Doug TV is nationwide. I mean, not that this podcast isn't nationwide, again, but we have pockets of interest, right? And we've grown. But however, the TV will be literally everywhere. It is, again, not that you can't get this podcast everywhere, but it doesn't work like that. The TV, on the other hand, works a little differently as far as the distribution. So we're going to have a lot of new people in our world. And so we got to treat that appropriately. So you're going to have bands from Cleveland, Ohio. You're going to have bands from LA. You're going to have bands from Nashville. We've been moving into that a little bit on the show here, but it needs to be, the next thing needs to be set up for a that sort of thing. And the podcast is still, we're still focusing on we know who our audience are. We know where they're at. And we focus on that. So that's where things will be different and why there needs to be two things. I've rattled on a lot. I know you guys are probably really bored right now and are ready to go. It's a 15 minutes podcast already. Wow. I'm getting out of here, guys. I'm excited, as you can tell. Please check out withdougtv.com. A couple things I'm going to tell you, and then I'm out of here. When you go to that website, you will probably get a notice that says, this page is not secure. Now, that is a protection thing. Your device will protect when it's uncertain, so you're not getting hacked. However, the site is secure. It is just a forwarding link that is my website, because we don't actually have built a real site. We're working on that in the meantime for the next month or so, and then we'll be getting an app, and it'll be a way cooler as these things are being developed now. That just forwards it over to our Blogger site, which is a Google page, which is very secure, very safe site to go to. It's just the reason that your device may tell you that it's unsecure is because you are jumping from a hacker would put a forward on they would buy a .com and they would forward it to somewhere to hack you. That's one of the things that hackers do. However, we are not trying to hack you. We're just trying to have a temporary way to easily get to the website, other than having to put in whatever the Blogger site is. There's a bunch of extra characters. It's a really long website. So this just simplified that. So, however, once you get there, you can save in your favorites. You can save the Blogger site. And then, you'll no longer have to do that jumpy hoop thing. Or you can just find our Lunch with Doug blog site, which is a Google hosted page. And you'll find it. I haven't updated anything. The update is the TV link, and you can see the link there. But it's all going to get better. We're going to have TVs. We're going to be on TVs and stuff very soon, and we'll direct you how to do that. And so it's going to be really exciting. So lots of stuff's happening, and I'm just yab. But it's good to have you. It's good that you're listening, and I appreciate you. And hopefully this is going to be a really cool summer. In between all the episodes of Lunch with Doug, you're going to have 24/7 streaming channel with Doug TV.
Once again, thanks for spending your lunchtime with me today on this episode of Lunch with Doug.